billion names of pod.
From Atlanta,
Just try your Nazi bullshit here.
it's the 9 Billion Names of Pod with Dan Bauman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm completely bloody sick of this shit.
I kind of don't even want to talk about stuff this week, but we kind of have to because, man, what the fuck is going on?
You know, it's kind of like what David Banner says. You know, I'm always angry.
Yeah, you wouldn't like me.
And, you know, I'll be enjoying something nice, and then I'll remember, oh fuck, Trump's our president, or this shit's going on, or these people are my fellow countrymen.
Yeah, just as a warning, we may get into other stuff, but we got to talk about some serious.
We got to talk about Charlottesville. We got to talk about Nazis, alt-right, and the
What the fuck has happened to our country?
And I'll apologize in advance. This is going to ramble. This is going to get vitriolic. It's going to make me hate myself and need to take a shower afterwards. We'll try to work in some pop culture references to make it topical.
I've got a couple of things to like at the end to make us like, you know,
a palate cleanser.
Yeah. A couple of good things
after
to
eating the shit sandwich that is Trump's America. A little sorbet to cleanse our palates.
And just as a preface, we are recording this the day after the Charlottesville. What do we even call it? Account. Incident rally.
When a Nazi killed an American citizen on American soil.
Right.
Let's just take that in for a second. A Nazi, a white supremacist, killed an American citizen on American soil.
Right.
My God, there are still World War II veterans living out there.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that they have to see this and go, didn't we take care of this shit, 70 years ago?
Yeah, the meme going around saying you can't be a Nazi and an American patriot. We had a war about that.
Yeah, there's a war about that.
The
it was
whole
decided.
world was involved.
Yeah, exactly.
The lady's name was Heather Heyer.
Heather Heyer, she was 32 years old, and she was mowed down by some shitbag, which I'm not going to even say his name.
No. Well, but they got him.
They did get him.
They got him. And,
now, because he's white, he still is alive.
True.
I mean, take issue with that, people, if you want, but if this had been an angry black person doing this thing to a crowd,
gunned down.
They would have gunned him down.
Yeah.
So much wrong.
Right.
And the only reason we can feel this angry and this horrified is because we do love our country. So we can point out the utter shit that is clinging to the undercarriage of a pretty damn good country.
Yeah, it's
not unpatriotic to call out Trump and Bannon.
No, it's actually
and
more
that fucking
patriotic.
Nazi Stephen Miller, and Sebastian Gorka as basically, maybe they're not exactly Nazis. Maybe they don't extend their hand out, but they're alt-right. And when you believe everything that Nazis believe, but you don't call yourself a Nazi, I'm sorry, you're a fucking Nazi.
What was going through my head was what you were saying. There was a Nazi incident on American soil. In my brain, it's almost a hard thing to connect because it sounds like, oh, we were invaded by barbarians, or the Huns attacked.
Invaded from within.
From within, but I mean, it's like the Nazis are almost like cartoon characters at this point. It doesn't seem like it's a real thing.
Well, see, and that brings me to something we were about to talk about before I stopped myself before we started recording. I am fully in favor of mocking and insulting and fictionalizing ways to abuse and screw with Hitler and Nazis. When Mel Brooks does, the producers and stuff and makes Hitler into some caricature while always remembering the history.
Yeah.
Not that the parody takes place of the actual facts, but denigrate. But you know what? It's happening right fucking now on a larger scale than ever. Because the Trumpstica is in the White House.
When David Duke endorses you and you don't immediately condemn it.
Yep.
I mean, that alone.
Or when this happens in Charlottesville, and am I saying that
Charlottesville?
Charlottesville?
Yeah, Virginia.
Okay. For some reason everyone.
Charlottesville.
Yeah. Some people just call it Charlotte.
No, that's North Carolina.
It's North Carolina.
Yeah,
okay.
Charlottesville is in Virginia.
Charlottesville,
Yeah.
Virginia. Charlotte, North Carolina. Got to make
Yep.
sure I got my information. Or Dana Loesch or one of these other fucking garbage shills out on the internet will say, "Well, you don't have
fake
your
news,
facts
yeah.
right." You know, yeah, it's fake news, fuckers. But when it's happening loud and proud in the streets, I mean, I noticed that they're also doing some alt-right shit in Seattle today.
Are they really?
Because they want to poke all the left-wing hippies up there, and they're getting smarter because some of them are covering their face and wearing sunglasses. Because what happened in Virginia,
Yep.
they started taking pictures, and there's what's it called?
Yes, you are a racist.
Yes, you're racist.
Yes, at Yes, You're Racist on Twitter.
Yeah, and basically it's putting out isolated pictures of the people.
And they're finding the identities
Oh,
of
yeah,
these
one
people.
person apparently has already been fired.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the First Amendment for a second. I'm sure all our listeners are completely up to date on our well, you know, they're of a higher caliber of people.
I hope so,
I would
yeah.
like to think,
Yeah.
or at least more informed. But maybe I'm just being elitist and sitting on my white privilege, thinking that our listeners are better than others. Anyway, the First Amendment protects you from the government saying you can't say that, now go to jail.
Right.
That's it. It does not protect you from being fired the next day after you give a Nazi salute on Facebook or
Yeah.
Twitter, and then CNN fires you,
Right.
which has happened. I think his name was Jeffrey Lord. He put Sig Heil in a tweet, and CNN fired him, I want to say within hours.
Within hours, yeah.
Definitely within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And there's no First Amendment problem there. The government didn't say you're fired.
No.
The government didn't put him in jail or fine him. CNN fired him.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no protection for your bullshit outside of the government.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry. You know, I don't feel sorry for people that are outed by, yes, you're racist, for, you know, giving the Nazi salute out there. I've got no sympathy whatsoever. If you feel that strongly about something, you should put yourself on the line.
Right.
And I've already made a pact to myself. If I get wind, if us as a community here in Atlanta get wind that they're going to try this shit here, I'm going to be down there. I will be down there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens. Because I am angry as hell.
Yeah.
But I got to, you know, everyone says punch a Nazi. Just, you know, yes, punch a Nazi, but
No.
don't start a riot trying to get to the Nazi. You
Yeah.
know. See, in Seattle right now, there's protesters 2 blocks away that are being kept in a cordon of police officers by police officers from the right-wing Nazi people. So there's no confrontation necessarily between those two teams. Now,
Right.
the Nazis and the police are kind of, you know, they're shooting silly string at them and sig heiling them and all this other stuff. And on the other side, where the police are keeping back the, for lack of a better term, the left wing, the
protesters.
rational, the people that are protesting the Nazis.
Right.
They're coming up to the line and shaking the I saw it right there live on MSNBC on my liberal television, shaking the cop's hand. I saw this, you know, he looked like probably a Mexican-American, older, maybe in his 60s. He reached out his hand to the cop and went, "Oh, dude, don't." And the cop just reached out, shook his hand.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was all good.
Yep.
No one was sitting there going, "Fuck you, cops," on that side. It was only
Yeah.
the right side. Say something. I need to...
God,
No.
it's baffling. It's
Well, see, we are
baffling.
so lucky here because there are other, it's, you know, it's like me bitching about how cold it is when I was in Toronto in November. And they're like, dude, this is still shorts weather, you pussy. There are other people around the world going, oh, I'm sorry. Some people, you know, got a little grouchy with each other on the street. I'm in danger of being, you know, shot daily by my own government
Yeah.
or bombed.
Right.
So let's keep it in perspective, yes, but we have to operate at our level. Our level is we're in America. We want a more perfect union, and what's going on is a far fucking cry from that.
What we have is a group of people who are using the freedoms that they have through the Constitution to assemble and free speech,
which I support.
Absolutely.
I will fight to defend their right to do it.
But when you use that to denigrate and call people subhuman and say you're better than people, and you dance on that line of the illegal, I don't know. It's maddening.
No, as much as I hate it, sometimes the ACLU will take up a case that supports, a Nazi club's right to, remember in the Blues Brothers?
They won their court case.
They won their court case, so they're
marching.
They're marching, and they get police protection. I support that.
Yeah.
Because if I win my court case, I want protection from the Nazis that are going to come after me.
Exactly.
But at the same time, when one of y'all motherfuckers decides to pick up, what is it? It's an ISIS tactic of driving into people to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that President Trump has condemned the violence, just the violence.
And the different sides.
The both sides are bad. Like, no, I'm sorry. This both siderism is bullshit in politics and in this situation. Yeah. There is only one party that is trying to take away your health care. There's only one party that's trying to give tax breaks to the 1% and break unions and fuck the working man. And it ain't the Democrats. They got their own problems. Trust me. No one's perfect. But this both sides of every issue, bull fucking shit. Doesn't exist.
I saw a tweet that said, I wish we had a president who got as mad about Nazis as he did to when Nordstrom stopped carrying his daughter's clothing line.
Exactly.
He'll condemn
instantly.
Nordstrom and condemn Muslims and Mexicans. They're all rapists and racists.
For some ambiguous thing that they may or may not have done. This is a thing that actually happened.
People did that in your country.
Right.
And you
in my country, in our country.
In our country. And you didn't say anything against
right.
Your
language is what raised the level of, I guess,
it's like what David Duke said in his tweet. Remember, you were not elected by radical leftists.
That is true,
which implies.
But all along the way, he has been very cozy, up to a certain point with the alt-right. That he's got them in his cabinet, advising him. Steve Bannon. He's pretty much a Nazi.
Yeah.
I know Stephen Miller he is a Nazi piece of shit of the Third Reich degree. He's one of the spokespeople. He's the guy that came out. He looks like, good God, he looks like an Undertaker.
Yeah, that real. I know who you're.
And he's like 30. He's this damaged at 31, 32.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you help and vengeance on whoever touched you at a young age to fuck you up so badly that you sought to be Like I said, I'm going to ramble. I'm going to get,
yeah.
I'm trying to be fair to all parties involved and not, but yes, Miller's a total shit. And of course, Jeff Sessions, I wouldn't necessarily call him a Nazi, but he shares a lot of opinions and, let's keep those blacks from voting.
He's closer to the Klan.
Yeah, when Coretta Scott King writes a letter to say,
hey, remember in the 80s when we wouldn't let this guy?
Yeah. Exactly. Well, this is par and parcel. Let's find the one person who either hates this department, has sued this department, or is entirely unqualified for that department. And let's make them secretary of that department.
And that's happened over
energy,
and over again.
Housing, the environment,
education.
Education. I just...
It's just baffling that this is what it's become. Like, for a while I was thinking, you know what? Burning this whole thing down, or not burning it down. Yes.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
Well, but I mean, I had a thought a while ago that, you know what, this giant clusterfuck of a cabinet and an administration might be what the two-party system needs to shake it up. But it went so wrong so fast that I can't even imagine that I thought that.
I have a friend who shortly after the election made a point that I had been thinking, and he put it out loud and said, you know what, maybe 4 years of this shit is going to push the pendulum so far past what the hell that it'll swing back so decisively towards the side of correct. I don't want to say the side of right. Not necessarily all Democrat, but the thing is that we're a two-party system.
Right.
I don't want to say all Democrats are super great. They're not.
No.
And all Republicans are evil. They're not.
They're not.
But if you caucus, if you are a member of a party where the majority of them are saying, let's keep black people from voting, let's make sure companies and rich people do well at the even if you're a good guy in that party,
you're still complicit.
You're complicit. You're complicit in what they're doing. Yeah. Look at the healthcare vote. Only 3 motherfuckers said no that was able to stop it. Right. Thank God. But and a lot of them were going like, this is wrong, this is bad, and you vote? I vote yay. Like, what? Yeah. What? At least, say what you want about McCain. I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Well, he is playing. He's playing games. Well, he's playing gamesmanship.
Well, I think he's also going, oh, you like people that weren't captured, huh?
Yeah.
Well, this person who was captured was now the deciding vote to fuck your agenda.
Yeah.
So here's a bag of dicks, and please chow down.
Which, good for him.
Oh, you know what? I don't care if he did it as a petty vendetta, it achieved the goal that saved so many people.
Right. John McCain and 2
females.
Yes. Remember that, people.
Females.
Women.
And
not old white guys.
Right. And East Coast, which I would say it's Maine, Connecticut?
Maybe.
I can't remember. It was Susan Collins, and I'm so sorry. I forget.
Forgive us, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they voted no, and a lot of other people, another 10 or 15, were like, no, this is we should do But when it came time to put up or shut up, they basically
rolled over.
They
and
basically
kissed the party's ass.
That's right. They gently cupped to Mitch McConnell's balls and said, yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll vote on your train wreck of a bill that you've slapped together in a week that no one else has seen.
Well, they did every single thing that the Democrats were accused of. The Democrats did health care. They did do it by themselves, but over the course of over a year with amendments and hearings and work, they slapped it together in secret so no one would have a chance to really read it and really delve into it and try to let's push it onto America. Oh my God, the Republican Party as they are now is a goddamn cancer on this country.
Yeah.
There are good ones out there. I was surprised to hear Orrin Hatch today condemn things, and
a lot of Republicans came forward today. And said
because they damn well better.
They know that this is going south, and all their jobs are or at least their party is crumbling beneath them.
Well, that's the problem. Gerrymandering is the reason why there are so many more Republican members of the House. Gerrymandering was, I think in the last election, Democrats got, 6 or 7 million more overall votes in House races, but the proportionate number of seats they got was drastically diminished because of the way the districts were. If they draw you into an all Democratic district, they've written off that district. You can vote however you want. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're trying to peel all the Republicans into one group so that they always their seats are safe. Mm-hmm. That's how shitbags like Louis Gohmert out of Texas, one of the stupidest people on the goddamn planet, keeps getting reelected by people that aren't far behind him in the intelligence game. Mm. So that's why when I heard that President Obama, one of his post presidency projects, chuckle, it was going to be to address gerrymandering and redrawing the district.
Yeah.
because I think we have what do we got? 2.5 more years until the next census, and that is going to be crucial.
You think?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's how you draw the lines. It's done by population. So everyone gets a count and they go, oh, look, Atlanta's grown by another 5 trillion motherfuckers on the road when I have
cars.
to get somewhere.
That's a sidebar, Your Honor.
It's like, how do we fit that many people? Oh, we're just building luxury up to the sky that nobody but the 1% can afford.
Right. Same fucking roads.
Yeah, same roads.
There's a lot of traffic in
there's
Atlanta if you haven't noticed.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed.
The poor listeners.
But then again, it's like, hey, hey, Michael, you weren't born here. It's like, I'm in kind of a way, kind of like what some of these people in the Trump administration, these, I got mine. Now, immigrants, let's close the door on you. See, I'm in Atlanta. I'm here. All right, fuck everyone else. Nobody else can move here.
How dare you move to the city?
Which I know is totally hypocritical,
Completely,
and I grumble, and I would never lift one finger to stop anyone from moving to Atlanta.
No, it's a great place. It's just fucking getting crowded.
It's getting crowded.
The roads are shitty.
And you know what? I don't take issue with the people coming here. I take issue with the government that's not addressing the issue.
Well, they're trying. It's just they're playing catch up for 100 years of.
Well, you saw there's that picture of what was it, like 6 major cities, I think it's either in America or the world, that shows their public transit system. And every one of them is just like this myriad of lines and everything.
They look like circuit boards.
Oh my gosh, there's so much. And then there's Atlanta, which looks like a child did a 1-second scribble.
Yeah.
And it's done.
It's it's one train that goes east to west and one train that goes north to south and
a few other little
off a couple spots.
It's a few other little spiders there.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it's
exactly it. It's a child's version.
I want to create a meme, or maybe it's already been done, Atlanta public transportation, because fuck you.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And
that's the thing. Oh my gosh, you're not wealthy enough to have a car? Well then, screw you, because public transportation is
the bus system is not great.
No.
There's MARTA, there's Cobb County Transit, and there's like something called the Link now, I want to call it. There's some other bus thing.
I have been fortunate enough, you have been fortunate enough to be car owners. But that's not a given.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
No,
anywhere.
I know a lot of people who travel by MARTA, and if you don't live downtown, you have
live
to
and work downtown.
You have to. You don't have a chance.
It's not where you live or where you work. It's the combination of where you live to where you work.
Right. And you can't, like, if you live in Midtown or, like downtown or the surrounding
but you work in Marietta?
You're in Marietta. You can't get there.
Oh, you can, but you got to get up at about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And take train to bus to.
Yeah, you got to wait till the buses start running, which is like 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah. Hope to God you can get there in 3 hours.
Right, and get there, and it's miserable. If you don't live off the MARTA line, you're screwed.
But all those poor people, they just need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Right.
Isn't that bootstraps, people?
Right.
Bootstraps.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck a bootstrap is.
I don't know.
I think it's something you do to pull your boots on with.
Yes,
Is it part of a boot? I don't own any boots. Maybe I need to so I can understand it. But yes, well, keep in mind, if you're poor, it's your fault.
Evidently, yeah. That's
obviously, it's your choices that you have made.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm a self-made millionaire. Like, yeah, you're one out of 6 billion people, or you know what I mean. Just.
They did. Morgan Spurlock did a show. Did one of his documentary shows.
Oh, was it living on minimum wage?
Living on minimum wage for a month.
I saw that.
The 30 days, and it almost destroyed his marriage. And he's like, I don't understand how people do this. He said it's not possible. He's like, it's just not possible to do this.
But minimum wage jobs aren't meant to be lived on. They're starting job for teenagers. Like. Well, I'm sorry, with automation, you know what, we're getting far afield here. I know, but that's the thing. We love our country, and we know what's good about it. We can celebrate that. But where the action and where the anger and where the money, the time, the energy needs to put into addressing the things that are screwing people. And the thing is that people have pointed out to me more times than I can count. You're a landowning white male in America. Trump is going to be great for you. And yes, in a way, but I have friends, and a lot of them are female.
It might be
and
very-
not all of them are white. And
Not all of them are straight. Not all of
exactly,
them
yes, exactly. It's some of them.
Well, it's only a small way. It's only like maybe economically he's going to be great for you. The other side of that is so not worth it. Is exponentially big. Like all the oppression and all the bullshit that's gone along.
Absolutely,
with it.
I would give back every dime that I have made in the stock market. I'd give it all back just to stop all this bullshit that's going on. Just
You can't run the country like a company that you own, and that's
he's learning
exactly
that.
what he's doing. Marginalize the lower tier, janitorial staff, which is all the Mexicans and African Americans,
or even worse, talk shit about your co-equal branch of government, Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, and then wonder why my agenda's not getting passed.
Yeah.
Well, they're human beings too. Well, Mitch McConnell may be a turtle, but even turtles don't forget how you slammed him, and he could just go, I'm not gonna do this for you.
What is it? What do you think it's going to take for the revolt to happen within their ranks? I mean, we can see it already starting.
My hopes are pinned on Robert Mueller.
Yeah.
That's
Just find enough shit.
Mueller.
I don't even know how you pronounce it.
Mueller. Robert
the
Mueller.
special investigator.
Special counsel. And Trump himself fucked himself because he's playing checkers while the world operates on chess. He appointed Jeff Sessions, I like the KKK, Sessions, but he was part of the campaign so that when all this Russian stuff came up, he had to recuse himself. Whoops. That's the person that could have stopped the special counsel from being appointed. Well, the deputy, God, I wish I remember Ryan. I can't remember Ryan Linke. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He appointed it. So now they're at a point where if Trump wants to fire the special counsel a la Nixon, he's got to jump through the ranks and start firing and appointing people to the head of the Justice Department to get rid of Mueller. And his party has said, you try that shit and there's going to be trouble. It'll be the end of your presidency, or it'll be the beginning of your impeachment. Yeah. And a couple, I think one in the House, one in the Senate, have offered bills that would make it far more difficult for him to fire Robert Mueller in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Even one was really smart that says, yes, you have the right to fire him, but afterwards there's going to be a 4-judge panel that will review the reasons. And if they find that it wasn't,
And Trump's not smart enough to cover his tracks with...
Oh, no, he keeps spilling the beans gosh, I really hope these 4 aces in my hand, he's got no poker face. I mean, well, let's face it. I mean, he's a child.
He is a trust fund child who no one has ever challenged or told that he wasn't the best in the world. It goes back to
he's a special snowflake.
I just remember it's like with all this North Korea shit. Like, when was it? A couple months ago, he had a press conference. He was saying, "Oh, we don't win wars anymore. We're not winning. And it's like, first of all, define what winning a war means. You kill more people than they kill, and B, I've been saying since my theory on this from the beginning has been, if and when he got in office, he was going to start a war with anybody he could, so that him and his war profiteer buddies can make money off of it.
Just
because that's what happens.
That's what Republicans do. That's what Bush did.
Yeah, and that's frightening. It's just,
I think for Trump, it's more about his ego and swinging his big metaphorical presidential dick, and he's starting to realize that the presidency is not a kingdom, or you're not
right.
It's not being a king. There's things that you can't do, or if you can do them, doing them would have severe consequences for you, and he ain't liking that.
Right.
That's why there's he's having such a hard time filling vacancies in certain cabinets and even in the White House, because things are so toxic. The quality people, they want nothing to do. They don't want that on their CV.
Right.
They don't want you worked for 3 weeks in the White House before Trump,
or 10 days, like,
or 10 to,
like that motherfucker.
the mooch.
I think one of the best things about what's going on now is that with the advent of Twitter and Facebook and social media, and the Republicans are not able to do all the shady backroom deal bullshit that they used to do, that they built their party on, and they not as much. And you'd think, but without it getting out immediately, and not a few months after things happen.
And then when it gets out, it's fake news.
Exactly. Well, that's how
there's a large group of people out there that if they don't hear it on Fox News, it is fake news. CNN, fake news.
Yeah, the fact that people believe a catchphrase, like that the president has catchphrases, is the people buy into that is unbelievable.
Well, he is essentially a TV/reality sitcom star.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's, his fake news is the equivalent of like, "How you doing?" or whatever
exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's another huge problem that has developed over the last 20. When did Fox News start off? Mid-90s?
Something like that.
They just missed. They just missed being around, I think, for the Clinton impeachment bullshit. But yeah, let's just say, for the sake of argument, about 20 years. Roger Ailes built up basically right-wing propaganda.
Yeah.
Remember the joke in Monty Python? This is the fair and impartial, BBC operating on behalf of the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Fox News is. I do watch Fox News sometimes because I know what's happening, and then I'd like to hear how they spin it, how they talk about it.
It hurts my head too much.
I mean, and
it makes me too angry. But yeah.
Oh, but I know. It's literally, it's almost like cutting yourself. I understand now how some people might cut themselves to feel something, because turning on 10 minutes of Rush Limbaugh or watching 10 minutes of Fox News is like, I understand. I get it. I just
my version of that is going on Twitter when like go to anything that he tweets and then go to the comments, and you'll see both sides of it, and that's where I start losing my freaking mind.
Well, objective truth is not objective truth anymore.
No,
I mean, forget agreeing about what happened 10 years ago. People can't come to a consensus on the truth of what happened 10 seconds ago.
Right.
The president said this. Oh, he was just joking, or like
also the amazing thing is that it keeps happening. You keep seeing these tweets where it says every single time there's one of these, and it's Trump criticizing Obama, like saying, he's too busy playing golf, this and that. Every single time there's a tweet that comes back to haunt him.
Exactly.
Like word for word, exactly what he was.
Oh, my favorite is, hey, Obama plays all this golf. I'm not going to play golf. I'm going to be too busy and be in the White House. There's deals to be made. There's work to be done.
93 days he's been on out. He's golfed or something?
50. It's
50?
been 50.
Okay.
But that's already more vacation days than Obama took in, I believe, all of his first year.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the emoluments clause. You familiar with this?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
he keeps going to his own properties and making money.
Exactly. Here, I'm going to go to this property. Here, pay me, Secret Service, because you have to.
Yeah, you have to pay for the Secret Service.
Exactly.
Which I own the property.
Exactly. I mean, when Obama went to wherever he went in Maui for his 2 weeks at Christmas, like regular people do.
Yep.
But of course, when you're a president, you're never really on vacation. ever.
No.
I mean, it's just, you're just not in the White House. That's why I cut Bush a little bit of slack on that, because when you're president, you're always in the mix somehow.
Yeah.
But
My
but Obama didn't say, I will never take holidays. I'll be working so hard.
Right.
Golf, no golf for me. And then this is exactly what Trump. I mean, it's proved sometimes within seconds he's either being a hypocrite or he's flat out lying.
or he doesn't know the difference is really a combination.
Or he's
of all
too
these.
stupid to understand.
I think it's all three.
Have you ever dealt with somebody who is lying straight to your face, and you, at one point, you're going, I can't believe they're doing this, but then there's also, I can't believe they think they're getting away with this. They're stupid enough to say it,
Yeah.
and then they're stupid enough to think that I'm dumb enough that I can't see through your bullshit. Like, you are so much more intelligent than I am, that I'm unable to see through this.
I think in cases like that, they don't even know they're doing it. It's so compulsive that they just do it, and they're just talking. Like, my going back to one of my favorite stories I heard, which may be apocryphal, I'm not sure, but somebody asked Barack Obama after the presidency, what do you want to do? And he said something to the effect of, I want to open up a little shop on the beach that only sells medium white T-shirts. He said, there'll be $10. If you want one, you can buy one, but I'm not making any decisions at all. Ever again. All my life of the last 8 years has just been 10,000 decisions a day.
And no matter what decision you make, there's always a chorus.
Yeah.
Remember when Obama wanted, hey, do you got some Dijon mustard for the sandwich here? Oh, sure, President. Oh, thanks. And Hannity's like, hope you enjoy your fancy Dijon mustard, President. Like,
Yeah, Dijon.
really? Are you
that's the stand.
that desperate to find anything to find fault? Yes.
Yes, that's the answer to that question.
Right.
Is yes. They
Well,
were
yeah,
desperate
and
to...
that gave birth to something that I think I came up with. Maybe someone else did. Like, if Obama cured cancer single-handedly, Sean Hannity would decry the loss of jobs in oncology.
Right.
How dare you put all the cancer doctors out of business? You're just the worst ever. Why do you hate working men? There's.
My analogy that I came up with was with the Republican Party was the Republican Party saying that Obama didn't get anything accomplished in his day. It would be like me slashing your tires and standing at your front door with a baseball bat, swinging it wildly, and then complaining that you didn't get to work on time.
Yes.
Yes. It's exactly.
Well, my favorite is the economic. The economic crash that happened just before Obama took office. It's the equivalent of the passengers on a plane putting pilot Bush out of the cockpit, putting in pilot Obama. He gets the plane on the ground, doesn't kill anybody, and immediately the chorus of, well, we're going to be late to our destination.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This is just a crash landing that the other guy caused. Why are we not back up in the air?
Right.
Or the few that jumped out of the parachute, were flown down going, my parachute is red. I wanted blue. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
And
to a degree, that's always going to happen. But
Of course. I mean, I would love to say, wow, Trump. I think there was one thing that I went, wow, Trump actually did the right thing. But you know what? It's buried under so much other shit. I can't remember what it is.
Right.
I remember going one thing like, wow, he's not being a shitbag about this. I'll take it.
His tactic on everything is to do something reprehensible, or it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all distraction technique, because you get to, like, the whole trans ban in the military out of nowhere, and
after consulting with my generals and advisors, and afterwards they go, no, never consulted us. This came out of nowhere.
Right.
And it still isn't real. He hasn't issued the order.
Well, and the generals say he kind of can't do that.
No, he can, I mean, he's the commander in chief,
yeah,
but
right.
it has to go through chain of command.
Of course.
It's not like any president can go, and now everyone wears red uniforms. Sure, it can happen, but there needs to be a process. We got to get them measured.
And that's the thing he doesn't understand.
Right.
About anything.
Why are my decrees not followed immediately?
Right, because you don't own this company, is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean,
you're a caretaker.
The trans ban distracted from the Boy Scout thing, which distracted from this, which distracted from everything to distract from Russia. He trying to turn a Boy Scout jamboree into a political rally.
And talking about rich people having orgies with women on boats. I mean, what the hell, dude?
And when
hey, I'm all for orgies whenever you want them, but let's not talk about them publicly to children, shall we? Let's be responsible.
I'm not a big fan of the Boy Scouts just because of some of their policies.
Well, they're Christian based, which is not in and of itself bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
But because that they've had their problems with, I'm sorry, you're gay, so therefore you're useless to us. Because all gay people molest children. We know that, right? No,
well, no.
Absolutely fucking not.
No.
But
child
that's
molesters.
the way they see. That's the way they see it. Well, because gays are all trying to convert us because they can't reproduce that way.
Which is
wow,
unbelievably the most hypocritical thing.
Wow,
people
then
can
how do
say.
gay people exist then? Because if everyone was turned and
your whole religion is about proselytizing. You're trying to the Christians telling people that gays are trying to convert other people is so unbelievably hilarious.
It's like, well, I can convert someone to Christianity, so therefore I can definitely fundamentally rewire their sexual orientation by talking to them.
Right. I don't know any gay person that's ever tried to convert anyone. I have some friends who have been like, "You're sure you're not straight? You're sure you're straight?"
Back in my younger and slimmer days, there was a couple of like, "Oh, you're gay, child. You just don't know." I'm
exactly.
Like, okay, I'm like, and we're good friends, and it's all good.
Exactly.
And, yeah. I told you about my my Rocky Horror story.
Okay.
Went to New York. Rocky. I'm. This is back when I'm pretty much dressing the way I'm now, but baseball cap, black shirt, flannel on, and jeans and stuff. I'm sitting there, and as part of the pre-show, the Transylvanians, much like at our production here, would go around in the audience and kind of like, "Hey, how you doing?" And this one gay came up and like faced me and sat on my lap and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And was like waiting for me to freak out. I went, "Sup?" And he's like, "Oh, okay." Mm-hmm. He like picked out the person that he thought was going to be the. I hope I don't come off as a redneck, but at least not gay friendly.
Yeah.
And then I was gay friendly. He's like, "Oh, okay." And that's the way I treat it. I have been hit on 3 times by gay men, like I said, back when I was much younger and much more slender.
You're more bearish now.
Yeah, well, it's the beard and the okay. And I took it as a huge compliment. Like another human being thought I was hot. Nice,
One of the best compliments I ever got. We had a friend who sadly passed away recently, but he and his husband would have a huge pride party every year, and we would go because it was a great party. Courtney and I are
pride's
heterosexual.
For everybody.
Yeah, we are a heterosexual couple, and we would go to the pride party and go. We marched in the parade a couple times with shows and stuff. But I was talking to a friend of mine who is gay, and we were talking, and another friend of his came over and was speaking to him, and then looked at me and was like, "Well, hi, how are you?" And my friend looked up at him and said, "Oh, don't bother. He's 12-pack straight." I was like, thank you. Yes. I was like, I'm very flattered, but I was like, that's a great description. Even after that, it ain't gonna happen, boys. Sorry.
Hey, there you go. I like that.
I'm not against it at all, but that's just not my thing.
And I think we, at least between the two of us, we can agree that's how it should be. Don't be insulted if someone of the same sex finds you attractive and hits on you. Just say, "Wish it did it for me."
Yeah.
But it don't.
Hey,
so
man, it's great to have options.
So let's be friends, or whatever.
Yeah, and don't be horrified by it.
Be it, yeah. He's like, "How dare you think I'm gay?" If anything, you're like, "Wow,
really?"
Gay men have much more strict standards for being attractive. I mean, women date some slobs.
Yeah.
Gay guys, they for the most part,
if they find you attractive, you're doing something right.
Yeah, if, they. Like, you've been going to the gym, you're keeping your appearance up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm like, oh darn it. Oh, I wish I could be gay, but I'm not. Sorry. So but that's of course that's the left wing hippy dippy everyone loves gay people utopia that the right hates.
Which is destroying this country, according to them.
Well, remember when the country was wonderful and then gay marriage happened and we all went right down. Oh, that's right. Nothing changed.
happened, yeah.
Zero.
Nothing.
I mean, on a local level, yeah, I'm sure there's somebody that got irritated. But, as far as saying, well, the cause of the Roman Empire, it crashed because of gayness, or the Greek civilization failed.
Here's the thing. Those civilizations, ran on homosexuality and pansexuality.
Exactly.
They did not care who they were doing it with.
Who do I feel like tonight? A boy or a
Him,
girl?
him, her, him, her.
Why
it.
not both?
Yes, exactly.
So, it's just, that would be... That is my idea of a one aspect of a perfect society. Everyone gets to put their genitals with anybody else's genitals that is consenting and wants to, and nobody has a problem with it. That's it.
My stance on homosexuality, or within at least my friends, is I don't even want to know what my straight friends are doing
exactly
behind closed doors. I don't care. That's not my business,
right.
And it doesn't affect me.
Well, the people that are so against homosexuality, they go straight to, what are they doing in the bedroom? And I'm like, with humans in general, they're more than just the, let's hope, hour to hour and a half they spend doing genital. If things are really running well and things are there's more to their lives than that.
Yes.
I mean, straight people, gay people, there's more to it than where they put their bits.
It's people who find the same sex attractive and fall in love with each other, just like you did with your people or whatever. And
well, Dan, when did you choose to be straight?
Exactly.
When did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if everything's so fungible after this podcast, you want to, go on.
Choose to
get a 12-pack and yeah, because that happens. Ranting, social issues, gayness, right wing things, people.
Look, as much as we hate to say it, we're gonna be here for a bit, and this shit's not gonna stop for a while.
Well, this kind of shit is always going to be around and always has. It's just 50 years ago, you could use the N-word openly and have no repercussions.
No.
Now there is. That's progress.
Yes.
There's always going to be people that use that word, but now maybe they might, N-word, as opposed to screaming it out.
Yeah.
That's progress. There's always going to be people to say.
Those people are dying out.
There's more being bred, but
not as
much, right? But socially, you cannot use the N-word in polite conversation anymore, like you used to be able to.
Really?
Oh yeah, well of course, yeah. And that is progress.
Yes.
Same thing with hey fag or whatever the term is.
Right.
That's not.
That's going away slowly too.
It's all part of endeavoring towards what the framers like to call a more perfect union.
Yeah.
But God, it's been 200 years where plus let's get a little more perfect a little quicker, shall we?
We had 8 years of steps forward, and this reactionary is taking us steps back, but not as much, and we're not going to let it.
I like to think that the Trump presidency is allowing the, shall we say, the crust in the cesspool to rise to the top so it's easily culled and scooped out, so that when we get our next president in, whoever that may be, I would prefer a black, female, lesbian, crippled, of Arabic descent. There you go. I'll take that. When we get to that point, that means that America is finally, let's face it. I mean, having a black president to the rest of the world's like, whatever.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Here it was like huge.
How long did I mean, Margaret?
We
Thatcher,
still haven't had a woman.
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher was prime minister in the '80s. Benazir Bhutto was how long for?
And that's Pakistan, people.
Pakistan.
So come on, let's America. Let's get our shit together. But I'm hoping that things like what happened in Charlottesville and apparently in Seattle just brings these idiots to the top.
Bring them into focus so we can
Exactly.
We
knew
them.
you were out there as some nameless, faceless, but there you are at the rally.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a Nazi, and 400 of my friends got fired over the last year because of their stuff. Maybe it's not okay. I need to chill the shit out. And you know what? I'm not trying to police what's in someone's head. If you want to think gay people are awful and black people are awful and keep it in your own damn head, and
we can't stop that.
I'm not the thought police.
Right.
Think whatever you want, but as soon as you start trying to legislate towards that way,
especially legislate,
then we're going to have a problem. So I'm hoping that this recent events are part of what happens in the cycle. Like I said, we can say the N-word. Oh, all of a sudden now there's consequences, but it takes a while for the population as a whole to understand there's consequences for saying that. Now there's consequences for piping up and being a Nazi like that. You thought just because Trump was in office, it gave you the go signal to start this bullshit. You may feel like you have a friend in the White House, but remember, the presidency is a caretaker position. He ain't a king.
Right.
He ain't going to die in that office. Probably. No, I don't advocate killing Trump.
No.
I do
Absolutely
not.
We just want him to go away.
Go away.
Go back to your
I don't know for
buildings.
sure if he's done anything impeachable. It sure seems like it, but I will leave that up to the experts to dial down to the meat of the matter.
Here's the thing.
But,
if he hasn't, he most likely will at some point.
oh, God.
If he hasn't already, he
just
for
gross incompetency.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. And again, he's doing more damage to his own party, his own supposed party, that'll also come into factor.
Well, we'll see. Remember we talked about gerrymandering?
Yeah.
There are some people that would rather eat a bullet than vote Democrat.
Yeah.
I know, because I'm the same way. I would rather eat a bullet than vote Republican, even if there's a Republican candidate that is everything that I think I want. If they are on the Republican side, they give power to what I consider the enemy.
Yeah.
I can't vote for them. I can't.
I agree.
I can't do it.
I understand.
At least be an independent.
I just wish the Democrats had their shit together too, because that's also the problem.
I wish Keith Ellison was running the DNC, but he's a Muslim, so therefore they got all, the Democrats got all scared that they'll. I know.
That's what I mean. They gotta stop being pussies and
right.
I'm
Republicans
not saying,
change polls. They look at the thing and go, "Oh, really? That's unpopular? Fuck it. We're going to change that poll because we want to do that. Tax breaks for rich people. Oh, that doesn't poll well. We're going to make it poll well because we're going to call it something else. It's the death tax. You don't want the death tax, do you, Dan?
Right.
Oh, but hold it. Do you have over $5 million? Well, then the fucking inheritance tax, aka death tax, wouldn't affect you anyway.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to be rich in the future, so I'm going to support the Republicans now.
I'm not saying they need to fight fire with fire. They just got to grow a pair and start fighting back.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Is really what it comes down to. So,
I tell you, I'm gonna probably after the first of the year start looking at the candidate landscape.
That's what I mean.
Georgia
now
and
is
locally.
The time.
Yeah, don't wait until 2020.
Yeah.
Don't wait until it's deep into 2018. We got midterms coming up in what? 14 months? 15 months, something like that.
I just mean they need someone viable to go up against.
Right, exactly. Well, let's face it. The last election was Clinton, a very well-known, commodity.
Yeah.
Trump, a known commodity.
A fucking carnival barker.
Yeah,
but...
exactly. Hey, who knows? I think it was Kid Rock may become a fucking senator in this dumbass country.
Jesse Ventura was. So was
he
fucking,
actually turned out to be a vaguely decent, He
was all right economically. He's a fucking lunatic, but he did okay. Schwarzenegger kind of bankrupted California and wrecked a lot of shit. But
including a maid or two.
Yeah. But I mean,
get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Pop culture reference.
Yay!
We did it. The 9 billion names of pod.
We're back.
Stops the bile and the anger to make a pop culture reference. Well, you know who I'm voting for president in 2020?
Who?
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick. The 9 Billion Names of Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Michael Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdel Benny Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lohner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, DeepLab, Big Brother, and Eddie, your shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Croner Brothers, and Lexport. Legal counsel by the offices of Howard and Fine. If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention.
Yep.
Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shag Records and is a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Listen, watch on YouTube. Listen on SoundCloud. Stream us on Stitcher. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Or email us, comic@billiardpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Michael Reed.
LOZ!
Audio Primate.